All right.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Yeah. Hey. The theme song was at the tip of my tongue.
I ruined it.
Better than do brunch. Better do brunch. Something along the lines of Annie Lennox. Oh, hello again.
Hello.
With the nail polish, it looks like he's wearing a hat.
Oh, it does.
It does.
Yes.
Like a little visor or headband.
He's going to
A
play
beret.
A bit.
Oh, good
How
morning.
are you guys doing on this Sunday morning and evening for me?
Struggle to get up this morning. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's really
Yes.
cloudy outside out here, and I'm in Oakland, California, and
Sorry.
people were still doing fireworks late into the night, and so had a rough night.
Oh no.
That's horrible.
They're still doing that?
It's literally been almost every single night since Memorial Day.
That's
Lord
The
have
other-
mercy.
2 nights ago, I couldn't tell if it was a bad thunderstorm or somebody was just found like a leftover store of fireworks.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, I just turned the TV up on my rerun of The Office and rolled with it.
I love it.
Is watching The Office for you a kind of like anxiety come down? Because I put it on every time I'm feeling a little too worked up.
It's for me, it's like a white noise show. That and like Big Bang Theory and a couple other sitcoms. I've seen them so many times. I can just have it on in the background and be entertained if I want to be entertained. But except for a few episodes of The Office, yeah, like it usually relaxes me. There are a couple that are so anxiety inducing that I have to. The Scott's Tots, the Phyllis's Wedding. There's a couple others where I have to just be like, nope. Nope.
Hey, Mr. Scott.
Oh my gosh, and the song is so good, and it's just so awful. Oh my gosh. Can't even laugh at that.
I thought I would have made my first million at the age of what he says something, and it never happened.
I don't know. I can't watch that
the
one though.
computer batteries. I think my favorite Office episode is Stanley's heart attack with the
fake fire.
the fake fire.
I love how Better the Brunch Day is just all of like about Office fandom.
Sorry.
I'm here for it. I follow a weird number of Office accounts on Instagram for a show that's been off the air for 10 years.
Yeah, it was a cultural touchstone. So what's on the docket today, ladies?
Well, I think first we were going to talk about maybe in keeping with what we're watching. We're going to talk about what we're reading, yeah?
Talk about what's reading.
What books are you reading?
I'm reading like 12 books at a time, and it's disgusting. It's untenable. I'm just gonna go down the line real quick and say, Denise, your book I am still reading, but in the midst of that, I started reading Mary Trump's memoirs, I guess. Too Much and Never Enough. It was good up until a certain point where it just got too dark and depressing, and I DNF'd at 60%. Robin Lovett came out with Forbidden Desire, like another Planet Sex installment in her series. And I am reading Collision Course by Christina C. Jones. It's a Clark Brothers book, the first one. Because I joined the what is it called? Jasmine set it up with the Black Romance Caucus, and this is the first book that they're going to read.
Oh,
Cool.
Yeah, so far it's good. What about you guys?
I'm reading 3 right now. I'm reading Catherine Adele West's Saving Ruby King, which so far is really, really good. It's
Oh, good.
5 points of view, including one is actually the church has a point of
Oh.
view, and so it's like the physical church building has a point of view, and it's really fascinating.
Is it like the church reports on the people and the goings on or
A
something?
little bit, yeah. It gives this perspective of kind of what's happened within its walls, and the kinds of things that you
wow.
see there. It's really, really fascinating to have that
Cool.
perspective, because it's about these 2 families and how they intertwine and some of the secrets that they hold, and their connection to the church through it all. And so it's really, really fascinating so far. I'm also reading, I just started a story by Miss Beverly Jenkins. I'm reading her first in the Blessing series, which is really exciting to me because I'm just like so in awe of her. And so that's Bring on the Blessings. And then I'm also reading
What is it called?
Bring on the Blessings.
Okay.
And then I'm reading The Inner Work of Racial Justice by Rhonda McGee. She happens to be a colleague of mine, but it's a really interesting book on kind of anti-racism in the scope of mindfulness and self-care. And so it's a really, really good read so far.
Wow. That sounds necessary.
Yeah, I highly recommend it.
How about you, Cass?
I haven't read at all this week, at all. But I did watch something. We had my dad's birthday is on Tuesday, but my sister came over on Friday to celebrate. And so we cooked all day and we were all sitting around, and we put on, for background noise in the beginning, a show called Alone in the Arctic. Now, apparently this show has been going on for seasons, not necessarily always in the Arctic, but somewhere. We ended up binge watching it. My sister stayed at my place until almost midnight because we could not stop watching. It's in a whole thing where it starts out 10 people, and basically you're in competition with everyone to see who can last out by yourself alone in the wilderness the longest. Yes. And whoever lasts the longest wins like $500,000 or something like that.
Wow.
Nice.
Whew, it's a lot. I mean, they never see each other. They're all off in different areas. They're completely by themselves.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So they're alone but separated, like, okay.
Yeah, like they all get dropped off in the same area, so to speak, but they never cross paths. And it's just like, you can see some of them starting to like really, really feel the effects of being alone for multiple days. Like I think this one, and at the finale, it ended up being 76 days. And it's through the fall and into almost the beginning of winter in the Arctic. So by the end of it, they're in like negative weather, and like they had to build an entire, like, some people went with like, one person built a teepee, someone built a lean-to with a couple of branches. It wasn't very good. They didn't last very long. And then this one chick, she built like an entire log cabin, like with like a lifted bed and like lining in between. Like she almost won. Yeah, it was.
Damn.
And then she didn't win?
She didn't win. She almost won, but she didn't win, unfortunately. And it's just like a guy killed a moose with a bow and arrow. And a wolverine with an axe. Like it's the whole thing.
Okay, so your romance plot is 2 people who are on this show inadvertently run into each other.
Yeah.
And then it's like I'll share your bed if you share
Your
my
moose.
moose.
Yes.
And then it's
Moose
like
meat?
there's only one moose situation.
I'll tell you what, you would think that a moose would like get you the best thing ever, right? Like if everyone else struggling to catch a fish or like eat a squirrel, and they do, but like the
How do
person
you
moose,
butcher it? Are
these are all people who have either lit like really, really outdoor survivalist people, like they know how to do
They know
this.
how to butcher a
Okay.
moose.
Yeah.
And then you can use the moose pelt as a blanket for the one
There you
day.
go. There you
This
go.
guy almost starved because apparently moose meat is so lean, and he lost his fat to the wolverines, which he then killed with a axe. But that's an entire different episode. But
Wait,
before
the Wolverines snuck up and took the fat?
he had an entire tin can full of all the fat that he rendered, and the Wolverine stole the fat. So then he axed the Wolverine, but then the Wolverine buddy came and took another thing of fat that he had gotten from a different animal. It's like so much drama.
They're pack hunting the fat?
But they're like
What?
heisting it. Like this is a heist. It's a fat heist.
It's totally a fat heist because he built this thing that he learned how to do from like, I don't know. It's just like
You gotta hang the stuff out of the reach, right?
so
Yeah.
far up, and he built this entire contraption that he was like, nobody in their right mind animal wise is going to be able to climb up here. Stripped the poles, made them slippery, had a fence or a ladder that he would go to climb up to get it. The Wolverine got it. It was
Yep,
like
that Wolverine was like, nah, brah.
yeah.
And then they like left on each other's shoulders.
Mm-hmm. Some lady made a teddy bear, a stuffed teddy bear out of a rabbit that she kept, and she slept with it, and that was a whole thing.
Fuck.
No, that's creepy.
No.
Yeah,
That's
that was
creepy.
Yeah, it was
So
creepy.
you don't get a
Okay.
love story anymore. Being
No.
a creepy rabbit.
No.
No.
And
How dare you?
another woman kept the face of the bunny and turned it into a Halloween mask. It was a lot of things can happen to people when they're all alone in the Arctic.
I
Yes.
don't like that. I don't.
It
I
was
mean, I'll
very-
watch the show, but I will hate these women.
Oh, you
Who are they?
Oh my.
they're a lot. They're a
Well,
lot,
damn.
but they can survive. But their personalities are interesting.
At what cost?
But you know what?
Hmm.
Maybe in that love story, you meet the person who makes you feel okay getting rid of your rabbit mask. Like they help you take off your
Stop
mask
it.
so the real you could be seen.
Stop it.
I mean, that could
Stop.
work.
That's so fucked up.
I feel like we've got the perfect segue into grizzled characters because I feel like a grizzled survivalist needs love too. Denise.
Oh,
Well, I
we
wanna hear what
kind of wrote that one
Denise-
already.
I want to hear what Denise is reading.
Yeah.
Not that. I didn't want to write a synopsis this week, so I was really good at reading. I just started on about halfway through The Roommate by Rosie Bannon, who's my Berkeley debut Sib, that comes out in September. And it's really
Yay.
good so far, and like, woo, like spicy.
Yeah.
Next on my list, I have 3. I'm not sure which one I'll read next. I have A Good Family, which is by A.H. or Ann Kim. It just came out on Tuesday. And then I've got Love Delayed in Dublin, which is by Moni Boyce, and then Finding Joy by Adriana Herrera. So I don't know which of those I'll read next, but they're kind of in my queue, depending on my mood when I finish The Roommate, which I think will be fanning myself based on where I am currently.
Yeah.
And then I'm still
No.
listening to Take a Hint, Danny Brown by Talia Hibbert. I bought it months and months and months ago, and I didn't know I would be in quarantine still, so I got the audiobook. So I get to listen to it in like 4-minute segments while I'm driving to the grocery store parking lot, or if I have to take a quick trip up to work. So I guess that'll be one upside of commuting, but that book is as wonderful as you would imagine if you haven't read it yet.
I have it. I
Seems
haven't
like
read it yet.
I really like the narrator too. Since I do so many audiobooks, I get to do the narrators, so that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, that's what I'm reading. Now I guess you can tell me what I'm writing in the form of Grizzled. I think Charish had a
My idea is not too far off from what Cass and Taj were thinking, but I was gonna say like a park ranger.
Ooh.
I don't know if we've done anything like that.
No.
Okay, so true story that nobody knows because they haven't mostly read my books yet. But all of them have some sort of like outdoor retreat camping element in them. So park ranger kind of works. I think, okay, it's going to go somewhere you're not expecting.
Okay.
A grizzled old car designer was ousted from their job at Winnebago because of corruption.
What?
Okay, Winnebago, like the RVs, not the tribe. And they escaped to a national park to try to kind of recollect themselves. This car designer is just really jaded about everything and spent their life trying to create these recreational vehicles that can help people see the world, and thought they were doing really good work and making a lot of money. And now, you know, they don't have that. And their partner, who also worked in the interiors division of Winnebago, maybe that's the thing, left them for the person who did the wheel well design. And so they're just really, really struggling. So they're in this park, they're camping, trying to commune with nature.
Winnebago is hella messy. I didn't realize.
Apparently. They had all this fat stored up, and some jackass wolverine came and stole it. So now the guy has no grease, so he's grizzled and greaseless, and is just ready to give up and end this camping trip. And then a park ranger stumbles upon our hero, and is sunshine and bright and lovely, but also tells him to get his life together because he's doing things that are against park policy in terms of his fire or something like that. He's burning something he shouldn't be to lament his lost job and grief and fat.
Yeah.
And so over the course of this altercation where she's threatening to kick him out of the park because of his illegal grease fire, they fall into bed. It's a very heated moment, in part because of the grease fire, but also because of the sparks between them. And they start this sort of quick relationship for the duration of his time at the park. And when he leaves, he says, I really like to call you. You've really brought my spirits back. I think I'm going to go start my own RV company now, which I've always wanted to do. You made me believe in dreams. And then, plot twist, she says, we can never see each other again. I don't know why, but that's what she says. And so it turns out she's not actually a park ranger.
Oh my God, she's a bear.
Stop it.
She like the she wolverine? Like, what happened?
That's better. I wasn't thinking of going into a shifter romance, but maybe. She used to be a park ranger, but like him, was fired because of scandal and mismanagement. But because now the park was understaffed, and she has sort of her own funds because of the trust fund, because she's the heiress to the CEO of Winnebago. What? It's all circular.
What?
So she is still patrolling, trying to make sure that forest fires don't start, but she doesn't think he'll respect her if he knew she's not actually a park ranger. So she says that, and then things happen. They're going to run into each other at some kind of RV convention where she's accompanying the father, as one does. And he's showing off his new hot RV product.
Now, is it illegal to impersonate a park ranger? Can she?
Probably. And maybe that's also why she didn't tell him, because though grizzled, he's very law-abiding, except for the grease fire. I don't know, and I think the title would be I don't know what the title would be.
Camping.
Camping.
Camp- I was
Camping and
getting myself
vamping.
started. Camping with you. All of my titles
Camping
are
with
with you. Camping.
Just camping. So yeah, there we go. So a grizzled. So the park ranger is not the grizzled one. It's the old the RV.
The Winnebago
RV
guy.
exec, the Winnebago guy. And then, of course, in the epilogue, they are traveling the country in their custom RV and giving lectures on forest fires. So it's like a real sexy Smokey the Bear.
Yeah.
Meets the Elon Musk of recreational vehicles.
You could call it Cooking with Grease.
Cooking with grease.
Now
Grease
we're
the
cooking with
wheels. All right, so that's Denise's July 19th book pitch, grizzled book pitch.
It had me going places. I was up here, down here, laughing, crying. So much scandal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really, for folks who haven't read my books yet, that's, what I try to replicate with less grease generally, but
Yeah.
that's what I want you to feel, and a little confusion.
Yeah.
There was a little confusion.
And at the end of it, a desire to make sure that you're not causing forest fires. That's like the subtext of all my books. It's real subtle. And Taj, I don't know if you saw it in How to Fail at Flirting, but it was there. It's just really an undercurrent of don't start forest fires.
Yes.
Is she still the heiress of Winnebago?
In the epilogue?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, she is still the child of the owner. How's that?
Okay.
The epilogue would be kind of dark if it ends with them discussing what happens when her father dies.
Sequel could be like titled.
That might be like a little dark for an epilogue. What were you going to say, Cass?
The sequel could be titled On the Road Again because they're traveling in RV.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Cute.
It would just be an erotic romp because it would just be like forest fire lectures, doing it in the RV, grease fire, and so on.
I just can't. I love it. Audience, do with it what you will.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to write that one. So, if somebody wants to take that idea and run with it, just, hit me up in the acknowledgements. Or if Netflix wants to make that into a movie, they could come find me because then I own it.
I could be a movie. I could actually visualize that as a movie. Who would it star?
In our funny world or in a real world? Because funny, I think, why am I blanking on her name?
I would say Chris, what is his name? Chris O'Dowd, the Irish actor?
Yeah.
I feel like he would be a funny,
He
would
fucking around with a fire and not know what he's doing and then yell at somebody about not knowing what he's doing.
Yes.
Tiffany Haddish for the park ranger.
Okay. Yes. This could be okay.
And the CEO of Winnebago, Idris Elba.
Yeah.
It's her dad.
It's her dad.
That's amazing.
You know
and
what?
The Wolverine will be played CGI by Pedro Pascal.
Okay. Yeah.
From the Mandalorian and
Oh yeah.
Game of
Yeah.
Thrones,
Right.
and
Is this going to be like, this doesn't sound like a sexy romp anymore.
oh,
We
it
have,
will be.
Who's the one that left him at Winnipeg that cheated on him?
Oh, that's right. Who would that be? Helen Mirren.
I mean, okay. This
And
is your movie.
he really thought they were going to spend the rest of their lives together, and no, they're not. So that's me.
I like it.
Okay.
I think it has
That's
a lot of
amazing.
range.
It has a lot of that.
Well, as I said, I want you to walk away a little confused and convinced not to start forest fires, and I think that was you. So, Cherish,
I'm
who you got
convinced
beef with this week?
Well, as I was telling you guys before, grocery shopping is kind of the worst right now. Sweden is still doing Sweden, and everybody's like standing up on each other without masks and all that. And when I go to the supermarket, the one next door, I like to get in, get out. So I use the scanning device that they have, which is really cool because you're just doing your own shit. You're putting it in your own bag and you're going to check out. I get all the way to the checkout just so I can pay for it and go. And the little red light goes off on my machine, and the woman comes over and she's like, I will scan everything you have now. And she does it and she says, oh, something went wrong. Now I must scan your whole order. So I had to like stand right next to her. Like I'm trying to veer back. But like, she does this whole thing, taking all my shit out of my bag that I've already like stacked perfectly. And it was just such a hassle. She said, not your fault. Sometimes barcodes are just weird. And it was she claimed it was the macadamia nuts that I was buying. Like the barcode was like weird. I don't know about all that, but I don't know if I'm angry at her or the system or the country or what, or the macadamia nuts that came from Germany. Like I don't exactly know where my beef is. I'm really confused and tired. I'm probably going to start my period soon. But like, I hate going to the grocery store now. It's just such a hassle. Do I write a strongly worded letter to the company that makes these macadamia nuts and tell them to get their barcode situation under control? Or is this a grocery store letter?
I mean, I think you have other things to write that might be more pressing, but I think write a letter to whoever you want. Your beef can contain multitudes.
Thank you.
Your beef can be multifaceted.
That's what she
I
said.
want to have range. You're right. I do have other things to write, but I'm currently distracting myself with these dumb, petty things. I hate writing my book, and I think the macadamia nuts, that's where I'm focusing a lot of my hatred towards, so I don't have to think about this like huge project that I've just been struggling with. So it's not the macadamia nut.
Write the best damn macadamia nut on blast letter that has ever been written. And you can probably use it in a future book.
Okay. Yeah, I could do that.
Are they expensive there? Because they're so expensive over here.
No. I know what you mean, because I never used to eat macadamia nuts like this, but a package that's like yay big runs you about maybe $5 American.
Oh, it's about like here.
Is that?
I think.
I don't know. Like a bottle that you get at Walmart or something. I remember those being like $8.
Yeah, they always seem so expensive. And I always find that it's like, we're, at least where I am, we're like the closest to Hawaii. So you would think it'd be a little bit cheaper.
No.
Right.
No.
I don't
I don't
I
know if
don't
that shipping
know.
cost is
I don't
super
know.
different from Hawaii to Washington versus Hawaii to Iowa, but
Or Sweden.
well, Sweden, yeah. Things to
By way of
explore.
Germany. Okay, but yeah, that's my beef, and it's probably not quite as exciting or fun, but I'm just frustrated by this grocery store. Anywho, did anybody else have beef? Are we good?
Aside from generally having beef with the country right now, I'm good.
Yeah.
Just general blanket beef, but I'm good. Others?
All right.
I just thought of a great gift for Cherish. A blanket of a picture of beef.
I'm wrapped in my beef now.
Oh, maybe a robe.
A robe of beef.
Is it like steaks?
Yeah, we have to get real creative with the because otherwise it would just be like a red
Yeah.
robe.
I bet
Like
they
a smoking jacket, but made of.
I'm thinking of Lady Gaga's meat
Me
suit.
too.
We call it a beefing jacket. No, I take that back. That sounds gross. I know we're getting close to our time, but I don't know if we should end on beef jacket.
Well, I will say Cass does have me curious about this TV show. I'm going to check out Surviving in
alone in the
Alone.
yes.
I'm going to check out Alone in the Arctic. But if there are other seasons, maybe I won't start where there's like rabbits because I love my rabbits.
I would
Yeah, that could be
suggest
hard.
starting in the beginning, maybe. I have never seen it prior to Friday, so I'm going to start, but I guarantee that there's going to be some kind of animal assassination in every single one because that's all you're not allowed to bring food. Like I think the rules are you bring 10 items for survival. And that's it. And one motherfucker
Okay.
apparently the very first person in all the seasons that they had in this one, he didn't bring a ferro rod, so his ass was hand making fires with a bow.
Oh no. That
Yeah.
poor guy.
Mm-hmm.
And you probably can't make one of your one items like a Winnebago or like a mobile home.
I decided if I were to ever be on
corruption.
my items would be salt because every single one of those people complained about, I wish I had salt. I wish I had a little bit of flavor on my
Yeah.
On my moose.
yeah, on my moose.
Okay,
And
very quick.
You can
What
use your
is
own tears, but
okay? Very quickly. What is our one thing that we would bring with us to Alone in the Outback or the Arctic?
Well,
I was gonna say a fully loaded Kindle, but then it would die. The battery would die.
Bitch, there's no reading in the Arctic.
I'm trying to go back to that like team building activity where you have to rank like what you would want. I think one of the top things was a tarp.
Okay.
I think they all get a tarp because either that or they all shop at the same place because every single one of their tarps looked alike. So I'm guessing
Okay.
maybe that's one thing that they do get. I would definitely, especially if they had a multi-purpose one, an axe, like such a nice axe with hopefully like something else on it.
For me, it's between a knife, like a Bowie knife, and a lighter. Or flint. I don't know. Whatever. Makes fire easier. Taj, what are you bringing?
It's really hard to say, like, if I have to narrow it to one, but if it's only one thing, it's definitely a knife. It's definitely something to protect myself. Yeah.
All right.
What are you doing, Denise?
I think I'd have to go with something fun because I know myself and I'm not built for that. I think I would go into it knowing like, well, this is the end. So let me make sure I got my Joe Top Chart cassette tape and my Walkman. But yeah, if they provide the tarp, I think lighter and extra fuel for the lighter.
Okay. Well, you can't bring extra fuel, so
You
you're
could,
shit out of
Actually, one
luck.
of my things.
you could get around that by the thing that they said. It's called a ferro rod, which I did not know until I watched this show, but you strike it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or
Gotcha.
I would cheat and I would bring my Winnebago that was already fully stocked with all the things. And my 9 things would be 9 extra batteries.
She'd bring a GPS locator so that the Winnebago could find her after they drop her off.
Accurate.
Panels.
Accurate. And it would be fully stocked already, but that's one thing because it's inside the other things. This is one thing.
Exactly.
And then 9 extra batteries.
Okay, we're done here. I think it's time to sign off.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes, yes.
As always, I'm Denise Williams. Nick Will Writes at Twitter and Instagram.
I'm Cass Newbold at Cass N Writes on Twitter and Fat Like Me Pod on Twitter.
I'm Taj McCoy at Taj McCoy Writes. Sorry, Cherish.
That's okay. No, I'm Charish Reed at author Charish on Twitter.
Okay, and everybody smile for the camera. There we go.
Have a good day, everyone.
Bye.
Afternoon.
Peace and hair grease.